Hi, my name is Randy Shear and I'm a technical curriculum developer here at Jitterbit, and I'm glad you could join me as I walk through the setup process for the Epicor Salesforce quote to cash process template. First, I want to explain what a process template is. The Cloud Studio process templates are groups of pre-built integration use cases that accelerate the execution of a specific business process using numerous objects across multiple applications or systems. Process templates are designed to reduce the time to deployment by 50 to 80% and can be self-implemented, delivered by Jitterbit Professional Services, or delivered by an implementation partner. For access to a process template, contact your customer success manager. The Epicor Salesforce quote to cash process template helps a business quickly synchronize customer, contact, price, parts, and quotes between Epicor and Salesforce. It also helps automatically create a sales order in Epicor when an opportunity closes in Salesforce. Epicor is the source of record for this process template. After the initial loading of data from Epicor using the Epicor to Salesforce data flow, you can then sync records that have been updated in Salesforce back to Epicor using the Salesforce to Epicor data flow. Follow the data flow appropriate to your situation. Now that we know a little bit more about the process template, I'm going to quickly show you how to set it up. Before I prepare my Epicor instance or Salesforce instance, I'll need to log into the Jitterbit Harmony portal and open Marketplace. Marketplace is Jitterbit's new resource for searching and retrieving recipes and process templates to help you quickly create new projects. Once I find the appropriate template, I'll click on Start Project. The next screen is the Download Customization screen. Here, I am presented with several files to download. I will make sure I have all the files checked and click Download Files. I will use these to prepare both the Epicor instance and the Salesforce instance. After all the files are finished downloading, I will click Next. I will be directed to the Create New Project screen. This process template has multiple projects with specific names that should not change, but I can add a prefix name to help manage the multiple iterations of this process template. I will then select my proper environment because Jitterbit is capable of having multiple environments. Once all these steps are complete, I'll click Create Projects. After the projects are created, I can either go back to Marketplace or go to Cloud Studio. I will continue to Cloud Studio where I will find the newly created projects. There are 10 projects in total with my prefix followed by the name of each project. It is important to run each project in the proper order as listed in the documentation guide. Now it's time to prepare my Epicor instance. To do this, I'll log into Epicor with my credentials. On the main screen, I will type the word solution in the search box. And select the solution workbench. Now I'm in the solution workbench and I will open the Actions menu and select Install Solution. In the Source section, I will click Solution File and browse to the cab file. Now, in the Settings section, I will set the deployment folder to my working directory. I will also click the Remove Directives with Matching Names checkbox. Finally, in the Conflict Resolution section, I will select Automatically Overwrite Duplicate Files and Automatically Overwrite Duplicate Data. This will avoid any issues while trying to install new versions of the solution or update an existing solution, allowing an update or overwrite of the existing information. The last step is to click Install to finish the process. Once you've installed all 3 files, it is time to validate the Epicor package installation. To validate the installation, I will open the Actions menu and select Delete Installed Solutions. On the Delete Solutions screen, I can verify that the cap files are listed in the table. Now that I've installed the Epicor package and validated the installation, the data model must be regenerated. This process depends on your Epicor installation type. Now it's time to prepare my Salesforce instance. I will use the Salesforce Workbench. Workbench is a web-based tool designed for administrators and developers to interact with Salesforce. I will log into Workbench by going to this web address. I will verify the environment and the API version, and then accept the terms and services and click Login with Salesforce. After inputting my sales credentials, I am now looking at the landing page of Workbench. Along the top, I will hover over Migration and click Deploy from the drop-down menu. I will click Choose File and browse and select the Salesforce custom field zip file located in the Salesforce package folder and click Choose. This will take me back to the Deploy screen. Now that I chose my file, I'll click Next. After the zip file has finished loading, click Deploy. I will do these same steps for the other zip file. Next, I need to verify the deployment of the Salesforce custom fields packages and define the custom fields security and accessibility. To do this, I will need to log into Salesforce. For this example, I'll use the Salesforce Classic UI. Looking over to the left under Build, expand the Customize section, and then expand the object to which I want to verify that the custom fields have been added. In this example, I will check a custom field for the contact object, so I will expand Contacts and select Fields. On the Fields screen, I will verify that the custom fields have been added. Then I'll click the link that is the field's label to access the custom field's definition details. Now I'll click Set Field Level Security to define the appropriate field level security visibility settings. In this case, I want all selected as visible and click Save. Then I will return to the previous screen and click on View Fields Accessibility to set the accessibility for a particular field. From the drop-down, I'll select the same custom field from the earlier step. On the appropriate profile, I will click the link in the Fields Access column to modify the configuration for the authenticated website profile. On the Access Settings screen for the field under the Page Layout section, I will make sure that there is a check mark in the Visibility checkbox and click Save to confirm the settings. I will then be returned to the previous screen. Repeat the process for each field included as a part of the Salesforce Custom Fields package. After importing the project and preparing both Epicor and Salesforce, I will need to go back to Cloud Studio and click on the project titled Sync Epicor Customers to Salesforce Accounts. It is very important that each project is deployed in the proper order. Please see the accompanying documentation guide for more information. Each project has its own independent set of project variables. To set the value of these variables, go to the project variable list by clicking on the Action menu icon, which are the three dots at the top of the project pane. I will then select Project Variables from the drop-down menu. Then select or modify the values as appropriate. When I am done entering all the appropriate values, I will click the X at the top, which will take me back to the project. There is a list of variables that need to be changed in the supporting documentation guide. I will apply the appropriate variable settings for my connector, and I will be ready to test each endpoint connector. Prior to running any of the project's operations, I need to open each of the configured connections, both Epicor and Salesforce, and test the connections to confirm that the supplied credentials work with the endpoint. First, I will check Epicor to see if the connection is successful. To do this, I will double-click on the Epicor connector and scroll down to the bottom where I see the button called Test. When that button is clicked, it will take all the variable settings I used in the last step to see if there is a successful connection to my specific Epicor connector. If it was successful, I should see a green message saying Connection Success. If it was not successful, I'll get an error message. I see that my connector was set up correctly, and I will click the X at the top and do the same thing for the Salesforce connector. Now it is time to start triggering the proper workflow in the proper order. Once this step has been completed, I can deploy and run each project in the proper order as listed in the documentation guide. If you have any questions, please check out the information located at Success Central by going to success.jitterbit.com.